Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Ashley here. If it's your first time, please subscribe. If you're returning, please, no. I always mess this up. If you are returning, welcome back, you guys. So I'm gonna sit here and fold my clothes and stuff and clean up my room and stuff while I talk to you guys about the BLAC CHYNA show. Wait, that's a really bad angle. On tonight's episode, Chyna and her mom were talking to Dr. Sari about, you know, their relationship and basically how they got where they're at right now. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, like, this is gonna be super informal too, because I really didn't even feel like I needed to record for this, but I don't know. And plus I have updates for y'all. So the episode in itself was really triggering because you could just really see how much communication and how much what was it called? Like a grudge, resentment was a big word tonight. So you could see how much resentment Chyna had for her mom. And the thing that was weird to me is, like, you can obviously tell there's something that Chyna's not saying or she feels like she can't say because the cameras are rolling. Like, she doesn't want to face that scrutiny. And then I even got the feeling like she was kind of like giving her mom the look like, is it okay if I say it? Because the doctor wanted them to communicate, but they couldn't really communicate because the cameras was rolling. So, you know, Tokyo was like, yes, you could say whatever it is. Tokyo was like, you know, I was always there. I always had a place. And Chyna didn't feel that way. She always felt like she was going from pillar to post. And if you don't know what that means, that's basically saying, like, from house to house to house, like wherever there was a pillar or a post, that's where you can lay your head at. But see, what Tokyo is not realizing, like, Chyna might be expressing those feelings, or that's how she recollects her childhood to be, but that's because she was a child. And a lot of things, like a lot of kids that grew up with parents around, you know, the 80s and stuff like that, it was a lot different. Like, the way our parents parent us compared to how, like, we parent our kids is so different. And that's not to say, like, one is better than the other or you were right, we were wrong. Like, there was a lot of ass whoopings being issued in the 80s. There was a lot of I said what I said and that's the end of it in the 80s. Whereas now it's like, especially with us, like with me, like, if my child has something to say, I'm listening to what she has to say, as long as she's being tactful, you know, respectful or whatever. But I remember in my childhood, like, it got to a point where, yeah, we gonna let you say what you got to say, but after a while, like, okay, that's it, and you're done. And, like, even down to, like, coming home from, like, practices and stuff, I would be like, okay, can I please get McDonald's? It would be, no, we got food in the house. Like, it was that type of time. It was not no, I feel so bad, and like, it wasn't none of that. But it was a different time. So I think that, you know, Chyna's mom, Tokyo, was a dancer. I think Chyna feels like at that time, yeah, that was embarrassing. And, you know, back then it was so taboo that people would call you like a whore and all kinds of stuff like that. But like now it's more acceptable. Not to say like that's what you should aspire to be. Like, if that's what you got to do, get in, do your couple years, get out or whatever. But it's more acceptable now. So I feel like Chyna just, you know, and that's a tourist thing too. Like, my friend, I used to have this friend I used to work with. If you watch this, shout out to you, girl. You know who you are. I want to see if you comment and you know who you are. You told me your daughter's a tourist and she can't stand, like, if you're talking to her and doing something at the same time, she can't stand that. So I think that that's like a thing with them. Like, I know, like, another tourist I knew, they would make such, like, deep eye contact with me. Like, for me, that freaks me out because I'm already knowing that, you know, the eyes are the window to the soul. So you standing there trying to, like, see into my soul like that, like, no, I don't like that, because I like to have a little bit of mystery to me. You know, I don't like you to always know my every single move or what I'm going to do next. Like, nah, I don't like that. they kind of get very intent on what they're, I don't know, looking at or concentrating on. Like, I remember I would call this tourist's name, they wouldn't hear me. It's like really weird, and I'm like, okay. Come to find out later he had a hearing problem, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. But so I just feel like, you know, Tokyo is quick to react. No parent wants to hear from their kid like, you weren't a good parent to me, or any of that kind of stuff. Nobody wants to hear that. But like I said, back then a lot of parenting was done on survival, not love. And you know, a lot of accidents were being made in the 80s, a lot of partying being done. So some of these kids, a lot of these kids, yeah, y'all was some accidents. Like, sorry, I know your feelings probably hurt. Oh, I was an accident or whatever. But so what? Like, my dad didn't even want me, like, when I was born. So what? you guys got to get over that. Like, it was a different time. It was a different mindset. Like, yeah, I used to get whooped when I was coming up or whatever. But yeah, like, I hated my parents when they was whooping my ass. But now I'm like, okay, if anything, I'm not mad at y'all for whooping my ass. Like, that doesn't even cross my mind as things to be mad about from my childhood. Like, I be thinking about it like, oh, like, you got a couple good ones on me. But that part of it, like I wish I could whoop my child, but I just can't. Like, I just cannot whoop her. But sometimes, like, I be wishing, like, oh, you made me so mad, like, I want to whoop you because I know you deserve a whooping right now, because that's what I was taught. But I just can't bring myself to do it. So, I mean, knock on wood. I don't know. I'm just more so a talker. You know what I'm saying? Like, not a killer, but don't push me. But I like to talk things out as opposed to doing all that other stuff. This just got so sidetracked. The point was, like, this episode, like, Dr. Siri, I gotta give it to him. Like, he really had his work cut out in this episode, because China was so resistant. Like, the minute Tokyo would say something, China, like, oh my god. And poor Tokyo, she got that nervous, like, I gotta keep talking type of personality. So it's like, you tell her to shut up, but she keeps talking. It was difficult to watch. Like, it was really difficult to watch, but it was very necessary. Like I always tell you guys, I really feel like these two are, like I said before, like, they are a dynamic duo. If they can figure this out, and maybe they have to talk without the cameras. Maybe, like, some stuff just doesn't need to be filmed. Like, we get it. Y'all are going to therapy. Y'all are taking the right steps. Some stuff, like, I respect China for wanting to keep some stuff private, because, you know, there's things that all of us do that we're not proud of. And when it comes to, like, the situation with a parent and a child, not even just moms and daughters, like a parent and a child, period, it's hard to, like, hear, oh, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. Like, I remember my mom would tell me, like, because I had my daughter, like, young, like, not teenage young, but I was still young. So it was like, I knew I had a kid, but at the same time, like, I'm still young, I can still do what I want to do. And that was a struggle, because my mom used to have to get in my face, and I didn't want to hear it. And I'm like, oh, you telling me I'm a bad mom? Like, no, like, it's really no bad anything. It's just a mindset. It's just different demons that, you know, take over the body at certain points in times. And, you know, sometimes we succumb to our weaknesses and all that stuff. So I don't see Tokyo being a bad mom. I just see her as a young mom. And when the neighborhood kind of raises you, instead of, like, I don't know what their situation was, but I just sympathize for, like, a lot more than I used to, because it's like, when you become a parent, it's like, you really know there's no handbook on this crap. Like, you could read as many books as you want, but every child is so different, and the way you, like, deal with them, teach them, love them, it really is, like, on a case-by-case basis. Like, what works for me might not work for the next parent, and stuff like that. So, and then you have trials and tribulations. Like, I remember when my daughter was playing soccer, I used to yell at her so bad, like, so bad. Obviously, I was overcompensating, because I felt like, you know, okay, well, it's just me out here, and I did have the support of my mom. Like, I have an amazing family who always supports me, but I feel like sometimes I might overcompensate because I show up to stuff and it's just me. And I know what the dynamic is like when it was me and her dad. So when it's just me and then I'm black on top of that, in my mind, I don't want people to think like, I don't know, X, Y, and Z, like, oh, poor them. Like, I probably overcompensate because it's like, no, we got this. Like, don't feel bad for us. You know, we're in here with y'all. Like, it's a lot deeper than people think. And so, I don't know. So I would yell at her and I would be really hard on her. Because I felt like that's what I was supposed to do. But in reality, she told me, like, I hate when you do that. And, you know, you make it seem like it's the end of the world. And I'm just out here to have fun. And I'm like, oh, wow. Like, I used to get so mad because, like, I probably said, like, so many times. I'm sorry. I used to get so mad because one of my parents would do that to me. He would be hard on me and stuff. And I, like, didn't even really care about whatever the sport was that I had to play. I was just doing it pretty much because I was told to do it. And what I wanted to do, I wasn't allowed to do, which was cheerleading, and I'm never going to let it go. I'm never going to let it go. That's why I really believe, like, in giving kids freedom of self-expression. If it blows up in my face, then it just does, but that's just how I feel. And, yeah, so I mean, like I said, the episode was hard to watch, but in the outcome, I have been seeing a lot of pictures of China and her mom out and about, and China has now taken Arrogant Tay on as a hairstylist, so I hope that works out because I like Tay. He is a excellent artist, and I think that, you know, him doing her hair will be a good look for her. And the same for Tokyo, and I would like to see Tokyo on TV more because I feel like she really does have a good heart. I feel like I said, I already laid down everything for you guys from parenting in the 80s and stuff like that. But I just really, I like it. I appreciate it. I feel like there's a lot of hurt with China. She is really, really tough. Like, she's a really tough cookie. But yeah, that is pretty much it, you guys. Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you comment, subscribe, like this video if you enjoyed the commentary. Sorry I got off track, but I just had to, like, get that up off me. And thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I will see you in my next one. Bye.